Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us around the 27th of May. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. The extended GFS and ESAM ensembles for around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFSV2 at the end of video next 4 weeks, which gets us to the middle of June. First video released today, well, I'll get on that for you in a second. First video released today was our 7 AM upload, just a, 4-minute forecast looking at weather for the next 2 or 3 days. And also, we will be releasing tonight at 7 PM, so that's 7 AM, 7 PM, or around then anyway, we'll be releasing our latest update for the spring bank holiday. We did update number 1 on Saturday, update number 2 coming up for you tonight. Right, now, before I get on with the 10 to 14 days, we've got to give a shout out to our latest channel members. So we've got a new channel member for the GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much to all of our channel members. And a special hello and thank you to latest channel member Andy L. Thank you so much to Andy L for becoming a channel member for GavsWeatherVids. It's incredible, it's amazing. Thank you so much for the kindness and the generosity. You're always so amazing to me, and I never expected. I'm always blown away and constantly surprised by how lovely you all are to me. So thank you so much, Andy, and all channel members. If you'd like to become a channel member for GavsWeatherVids, all you need to do is come to GavsWeatherVids YouTube homepage, click the join button, take you through to another page where you see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member, and you can sign up on that page as well. So big thank you to all of our channel members, all of our patrons, all of our PayPal donors as well, super chatters. Unbelievable and so kind and generous. Thank you so much to all of you. Right, let's turn off the webcam. Then we'll begin the video. So here we go. And start off Central England temperature. We're halfway through the month now, and the CET is standing at 9.2. That is 1.3 degrees below average, below 1990 average. That's provisional up to yesterday, 15th of May. No, that's provisional up to Saturday, isn't it? It's 17th today, so that didn't get updated yesterday. Let's give it a little refresh, see if that's updated since then. There we go, that's updated. So that's provisional up to yesterday now, 16th, standing at 9.3. 1.3 degrees below average. So a cold first half to May, over a degree colder than average. We wait to see what the second half has in store. We know we did video on Saturday, and we know that the projection is going to be the coldest May for 25 years since 1996. But that's just a projection. It's not, definitive yet. We should wait and see where we end up with May's Central England temperature and keep a close eye on it over the next couple of weeks. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for Birmingham. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. We're starting off below average at the moment. So, we're still in a cool air. That's not as cold as it was like in the first week of the month when it was down here. But nevertheless, it's still below average. We're just seeing a very gradual tick up in the temperature, but still, at a low level for the time of the year. And that's set to continue until around the 25th of May. Anyway, beyond that, we do see a little bit of an increase in the temperature taking place. It's relatively modest. It's only going back to the long-term average. There are quite a few, actually, that are keeping things pretty chilly right way through to the end of the month and the start of June. Now, we have got some warmer, hotter ensemble members up here. These are sort of outliers, or certainly at the warmest end of the range. So it's not conclusively warming up there through the last week of May, but we probably will see a bit of a tick up in the temperature, but it remains a struggle, doesn't it? I think you can see that quite clearly. It does remain a real struggle to get the temperature to lift up. Precipitation-wise, going to be lots of showers and maybe longer spells of rain over the next week. We might have a bit of a drying trend appearing through the last days of May as well. The last week of the month might show a bit of a drying trend at the same time as the temperature is trying to lift up. So I think the Azores High is going to try and make a move during the last week of May. We haven't seen much of it over the past few weeks, but I think the last week of May will probably see the Azores High trying to make a move. But how successful it is, how long it lasts, and where exactly it ends up, remains to be seen. It does look rather sketchy, that, so I would not want to definitively predict like a big increase in the temperature before the month is out. Temperature anomalies from the 17th to the 25th of May are going to be below average, not just the UK and Ireland, but through most parts of Europe. We've been saying that every day for weeks on end. Precipitation anomalies for the 17th to 25th of May, a bit wetter than average still. So it remains cool and wet for the week ahead. Latest wind flow map from earthandoldskool.net shows that we're sat under a trough of low pressure today. So let's just highlight that. So that's like the centre of the trough just there. Jet stream is to our south. The main jet stream is pushing into Biscay and down towards France. And we're pulling in a little bit of a northwesterly to northerly type polar maritime airflow as well into this area of low pressure. So cool and showery. And there will be some big showers around today as well. Right, if you think that's bad, look at Thursday with the UK Met. Let's just put the webcam up as we go through the chart, shall we? Hello, I'm back. Right, let's go through the charts then. If you thought that was bad, that trough of low pressure, look at what we got on Thursday, a deepening area of low pressure to the west of Ireland. That becomes a very significant feature, becomes a dartboard, actually, by the time we get through Thursday into Friday. 990 millibars, gale force winds wrapped around that low as well, very tight backed ice bar. It's kind of like a summer storm thing that we've got coming in there, or late spring storm, I suppose. But it does look very wet and windy at the end of the week with that area of low pressure. So that low then moves into the North Sea by next weekend, or by this coming weekend, Saturday, pulling wind back into the north again, and we go cold and showery through next weekend. There is another area of low pressure there as far as we go, the UK Met at 144 hours, which is midnight on Sunday. Another area of low pressure to the south of Greenland. That's almost certainly going to roll in and bring another batch of rain sometime through Sunday, or possibly like on the Monday. Right, so that's the UK Met. This is how the midnight GFS is looking. Again, we've got this deepening area of low pressure in the Atlantic Ocean. It becomes a very significant area of low pressure as we run from Thursday into Friday, bringing wet and windy weather sweeping in off the Atlantic Ocean through the end of the week and into the weekend. Very unsettled indeed. More low pressure downstream. What's going to happen with that one? That deepens to the north of Scotland and starts to run into the early part of next week. Heading up towards day 10, deep low pressure north of Scotland, bringing wet and windy weather, just showing signs of the Azores High, starting to build northwards though by Tuesday next week, 25th of May. And so as we get up towards day 10, we see the Azores High pushing northwards, finally bringing us some drier weather. The only thing with that, this is day 10, this is 27th of May, the only thing with that is that we are pulling in like a northerly, we're on the cool side of a ridge. So the high pressure sat to our west will settle things down, send the rain-bearing areas of low pressure out to our north and west, but we will be quite cool with that, as winds will be coming in from the north. And then that's really how the GFS midnight run, keeps things right way through to the end of May, with high pressure generally to the north and west. So more settled, yes, but pulling in north to northeast winds, which will be quite cool. Could bring quite a lot of cloud with them as well. And that goes on right the way into the beginning of June, as far as we go with the GFS today, to the 2nd of June. And again, we've got high pressure away to our north and west. There's an area of low pressure over Denmark, and we're pulling the wind in like a north or northeasterly direction. So drier, yes, so we're closing days of May, but not particularly warmer. In fact, could be quite cool with those northerly winds. But I suppose if the sun's out at the end of May, it will feel relatively pleasant. This is how the GFS 6Z, 6 o'clock run, is looking. Again, deepening low pressure on Thursday. That's going to bring about of wind and rain, wet and windy weather Thursday into Friday. Looks very unsettled, that, doesn't it? Dartboard low over top of the country through the weekend. Well, Saturday anyway. That gets out of the way on Sunday, but there's more low pressure downstream. That brings another bout of wind and rain probably around this time next week. And then moving up towards day 10, again, we see the Azores High starting to make a move, pushing in from the southwest. But again, we remain on the cool side of the ridge up to day 10 anyway, with high pressure out to our west, low pressure over Scandinavia. Winds are in from a northerly direction. And again, the GFS 6 keeps that setup going then through to the end of May, with high pressure away to our north and west. So it will be drier. We get rid of the low pressures, we get rid of the rain, but we're still pulling in the wind from the northeasterly direction, which is a cool direction, of course. And we do actually start to get some low pressure developing to our east with the 6 as well. So a little bit unusual that we start to bring low pressure in from the east, which could bring some wet weather to eastern parts. Of course, that's a long way off. That's like a couple of weeks away, so that's not really worth worrying about. But definitely, although the Azores High is getting more involved in the pattern and is turning things drier, it does look quite cool with this at the moment. Let's have a GM is looking. Let's have a look at that one then. So low pressure again is in the Atlantic on Thursday. That becomes a dartboard. Major area of low pressure at the end of the week brings us a bout of wind and rain from Thursday to Friday. Into northerly winds and showery conditions we get into the weekend as well. Saturday looks very showery. Then more low pressure coming in from the Atlantic through the early part of next week. Keeps the Atlantic onslaught going. And unlike the GFS, the GM does not inflate the Azores High. So up to day 10, we've got GFS inflating the Azores High and turning us drier with high pressure to our west. Not the case with the GM. That just gives us another bout of wet and windy weather for day 10 with yet another area of low pressure to North Scotland. So no movement from the Azores High there with the GEM. Let's see what the ECMWF is showing. So again, there's that significant area of low pressure. It's really going to blow up at the end of the week, bringing us properly wet and windy weather as that comes sweeping in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Into Saturday, that low pressure will move into North Sea. Will pull wind into the north, so it will be cold, or cool anyway, probably for the north, quite cold and showery. And then we've got more low pressure rolling in through the early part of next week as well, so that will bring us further wind and rain. And then we do get a push of high pressure out to our west. The Azores High does start to reach northwards, but very similar to GFS, the Azores High stays to our west and northwest. So we do dry things up a little bit through the middle part of next week, but we keep it cool with winds remaining from a northwest direction. In fact, the east area is cold at day 10. Look at this. The upper air temperature. This is Thursday, the 27th of May. Virtue at month's end, we've got the -5 Celsius isotherm here into the north and the east. That's very unusual. So, yes, it does settle things down. It does get there with some drier weather by day 10. Courtesy of the Azores High, but the high pressure anchored to our west keeps that wind in from the north. So certainly not a heat wave at this stage with that reach from the Azores High. This is a precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Loads of showers today, especially for more eastern areas today as well. They'll fade out overnight. Tomorrow, get more showers going. England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and some into Scotland as well. Tomorrow with those showers. Maybe not quite as intense or thundery as today's, but even so, there'll be a lot of showers around tomorrow. Wednesday should be a little bit quieter, but still with some showers, particularly for eastern areas. And then, of course, we've got that major low coming in, bringing wet and windy weather at the end of the week. Lots of showers and longer spells, rain, and very strong winds involved with that. Even cold enough for a little bit of snow over Scottish mountains there for the weekend. And then into next weekend, the onslaught goes on, another bout of wind and rain in around a week or so's time, back to showers. Then it starts to dry up as the high pressure ridges out to our west, but winds stay in from the north, which does keep some showers running down the east coast, but generally it's getting a little bit drier up to day 10. But those temperatures will be chilly. Right, we'll turn off the webcam and we'll move on. We'll have a look at the October table in the ECM Ensembles for day 10. Today, via the Icelandic Met Office, this will get us to the 27th of May. We have 11 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure out to our west. Just here, low pressure will be to our east and winds will be in from the north. That includes the control and the operational run. Operational run is run we've just been looking at, of course. So, drier, yes, at day 10 with that, but quite chilly, to say the least. Another 11 here again, going for this mid-Atlantic ridge, heading up towards Greenland, Iceland scenario, with low pressure to the east, and winds coming in from like a northerly or northeasterly direction, so that will also be cool, maybe quite cold, and that'll be a little bit more unsettled as well, that low pressure just to our southeast. Now, I've got 8 just here, but look a little bit warmer. These have high pressure to our south over France deep low pressure in the North Atlantic, but I think that's probably turning a little bit drier and potentially a little bit warmer there with those 8. We've got another 8 down here that have high pressure centered right over top of the country. That will be very pleasant. Another 8 have high pressure way to our northwest, and so that will bring in like a northeasterly type flow. And then 5 with a continuation of northern blocking here, combined with a trough low pressure over top of the country. So that's going to be probably the most unsettled option out of all of them, and a very cool option as well. High pressure definitely more involved in day 10, but the devil is in the detail in terms of where that high pressure is sitting. It will make a big difference to what the temperatures are doing. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the first day of June. First day of meteorological summer, of course. And these are the options. We've got 14 members of the ECM ensembles will have low pressure to our north, and probably just keeping a rather showery situation going. 10 will have high pressure sat more or less over top of the country. That's going to be a drier option. 7 with high pressure over and slightly to the south of the country. We bring up wind from the west-southwesterly direction with those. Number 7 down here will have high pressure towards Scandinavia, and in the North Atlantic, low pressure will be to our south. That's going to be unsettled, and particularly so for more southern areas, quite wet. Another 7 have high pressure just to our north. That's going to be a more settled option. And then 6 have a Scandinavian high with low pressure to the south, and winds will be in from an easy direction. That could be rather showery for more southern areas. So again, it's not conclusive, this, is it, that we settle things down. There's a lot to go through, I think, before we can definitively say that things are going to start settling. And even if they do settle, in terms of what the temperatures are doing, that's up for grabs as well, really. Right, CFSV2 before we go. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 17th to 23rd of May. The coming week looks unsettled with low pressure in from the Atlantic into Europe. So, yeah, going to be more unsettled weather, definitely, in the week ahead. Week 2 is the 24th to 30th of May. So we've got a ridge here from the Azores High northwards, low pressure across Central Europe, and that pulls the wind in to a northerly direction. So it will start to turn drier, especially for more northern and western areas, but it'll be quite cool with winds in from the north and from the northeast potentially. Week 3 does look drier. This is the 31st of May to the 6th of June. High pressure is more or less over top of the country, although probably still just about on the cold side of that ridge. So definitely significantly drier with that, more settled, but probably still a little bit on the cool side, actually. And then go through to week 4, which will be the 7th to the 13th of June, with high pressure then just out to our west and northwest, low pressure centered over the Baltic Sea, I suppose, that sort of area anyway. And winds, so winds are still in from like a north-northeast direction. We're still on the cold side of that ridge. Remember, we've got to get the ridge. You want warm weather, hot weather, heat wave. You've got to get the ridge to our east. You've got to get the ridge there, and then that will pull the wind up from the south. Anytime we have the ridge to our west, because of the way the wind flows, rotates around high pressure in a clockwise fashion, we will pull the wind in from the north if the high pressure is to our west. So drier into June, but quite cool. Temperature anomalies for week 1 from the 17th to 23rd of May are below average, cold and average week coming up, and unsettled 2. Week 2 is also significantly cold on average, 24th, 30th of May. On the temperature scale, we're around 2 to 3 degrees below average. Look how cold it is across most parts of Europe as well. So, really chilly week there for the last week of May. Week 3 is not as cold, but it's still slightly below average. It's the 31st of May to the 6th of June. As high pressure is getting more involved. And week 4 is also slightly below average, which is the 7th to the 13th of June. Temperatures there are still coming out cooler than you would expect for the second week of June. And then finally, we've got the precipitation anomalies. So week 1, 17th, 23rd of May is wetter than average, especially for England and Wales. Week 2 is average to maybe a little bit drier than average last week of May. Perhaps going slightly drier then. Week 3 looks significantly drier than average, 31st May to the 6th of June. And then go through to week 4. tomorrow, which is 7th to 13th of June, and that one is also just slightly drier than normal. So, becoming drier, I think, is a clear trend here. But what the temperatures are going to be like, I think that's, we're going to wait and see on that, because it could be quite cool with winds from the north and from the northeast. Right, if you enjoyed the video, please can you smash the like button, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You'll be able to see future weather content, tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids, and drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. I'm back. Right, so I think we're going to have a downpour here, GavsWeatherVids towers any moment. Right, that's it then for day 10 to 14 day out. As I say, clear trends towards the Azores High, reaching northwards and turning us drier by the end of the month. But if we stay on the cold side of that ridge, and if the high pressure is centered to our west, then it's going to remain quite chilly with winds in from the north. But at least it looks like we're shifting into something a bit drier by the end of the month. Right, so we're going to be back around 7 PM this evening with our second update for the bank holiday weekend, so come back for that then. For today's 10 to 14 day abode, let's get ready. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.